Hey, Tayvion, how did you, coming out of last season and as you look back at it, how did you kind of evaluate yourself overall? You were the leading receiver coming out of last season and looked like you kind of took a step forward production wise. I just didn't know how you felt about your actual play on the field and where you stood.
I feel like I played well. My freshman year I was mainly in one position. This past season I moved around a lot, and I was just showing that coach can trust me, and I feel like I produced well. All the receivers played well, and I'm getting ready to get back into it this spring with the rest of those guys.
You did move around a lot. That was kind of the thought process, I guess, going into last year too. Did you kind of feel more comfortable as a perimeter guy or a slot guy? Which position, which role do you feel most comfortable in? I know you'll do anything you're asked to do and all that, but I didn't know if there was a spot now that you've had some experience doing a little of both that you feel more comfortable in.
Um, I guess you could say slot, because it's a little more natural. But being outside one on one, I feel like you get more opportunities. But playing all three of those positions is fun, and given that most of us can play all three positions, it makes it easier to rotate a lot of guys in.
Do you kind of look at I don't know how you look at the punt return aspect of stuff. You kind of look at it as a opportunity. It's not like look everybody remembers muff punts and stuff like that, but it wasn't like every single punt that you got was a muff
Mm-hmm.
right back there. It's just do those kind of things stick in your mind, and do you kind of look at it as spring and late summer going into the season as a little bit of a chance to redeem yourself at those at that spot, or do you just try to put that stuff out of your head completely?
I mean, mistakes happen, and when it happened, I talked to the coaches about it, learned from it, watched film about it, and I moved on. And the only thing I could do from it is learn. So I look forward to this spring getting as many reps as possible, getting that back under my belt, and maybe getting another chance to go out there and do punt return.
Thanks, Ben.
Andy.
Hey, man, I've asked a couple other players about this today. I'll ask you as well. When it comes to the off-season workouts, the Colorados, do you dread having to do those, or do you look forward to doing those?
Me personally, I look forward to doing them. That's a step that none of us can skip. We got to do it. So either you go out there with the mentality that you're going to go out there and attack it, and we do it as a team, encouraging. And I feel like it's a very chemistry building thing for positions and as a team. Because, we're all tired. We're all mentally out of it, and we all got to push through it together. I feel like that makes us stronger each time we do it.
What is that doing that now after you've been here a couple years versus the first time you did it when you were a freshman? Do you remember what it was like back then?
Yeah, my first one. See, the crazy thing was my first one wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but the second one is the one that caught me. But ever since then, I've always just gone out there and tried to, put all of it into it. Because if you hold anything back, you're not making yourself better. So ever since those first couple of combos, ever since then, I've just been going at it.
When you say it caught you, what do you mean by that? Were you like on your
Like,
knee?
my legs, this is a little dead, got a little hard to breathe. I mean, it's a challenging day when we do Colorado's, but um, it's fun to me.
Thanks.
Mike Nislett.
Yeah, Tavia, I'm curious what your impressions are of Braxton so far this offseason. A couple other guys told us he's been trying to get you guys in to throw, and how has he kind of emerged? Obviously, he seems like kind of the guy that's penciled in at the top of the depth chart at quarterback. What are your impressions so far?
He's definitely taking that next step that we looked for and the coaches look for, and he's taking ownership, leading us, having us throw a couple times whenever we can, and building chemistry with him. And that's the most important thing right now going to the spring, just getting as comfortable as possible and making him as comfortable as possible.
And what are those sessions like? Are they, obviously player led? I mean, are they serious? I mean, is it a lot of just kind of what do you guys try to accomplish? What are those like when you guys kind of get together?
I mean, we do those, it's trying to get 1% better every day. And, sometimes it's a learning day for the new guys, trying to teach them route concepts, understanding timing, trying to get our timing down with Braxton and Knox and Connor. And, those days are just It varies. Sometimes we're working real hard. Sometimes we're learning. Sometimes we'll walk through it to make sure guys understand so that we're all comfortable when we go into the spring.
And you mentioned Connor. He's the new guy. What can you share us about him from Texas A&M?
I didn't personally see him at Texas A&M, but since he's been here, he's put his head down, he's worked, and he's soaked up as much as possible and trying to learn as much as possible so he can contribute.
Thanks, man.
All right. Anybody else for Tayvion? All right. Thanks, Tay. Appreciate it.
Hey, hold on. I'm sorry, Tay.
Yeah,
Tay,
no.
I got one more. My bad.
Yep.
I think we mentioned this before several months ago, but there's more guys from Cox High School than any other high school on the roster right now at Tech. Do you? I don't know. Do you promote or do you push sort of 757 recruiting and the importance of that to coach? You joke around with them about needing to get down in there more? Is that something that you try to? I mean, all you guys are, I know, extremely prideful about being from the area and all that. I just didn't know if that was something that you tried to push to coaches and the importance of that.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Smith was just saying how, they're trying to get more Virginia guys to stay in state. And, I've done that ever since I committed and ever since I stepped foot on this campus, trying to get more guys to stay home and, rep the home state.
Yeah. Have you talked with Easy Atute much about the transition to Tech and what that entails and getting him ready for it all?
Yeah, we talked a lot before he got here because he was there 2 years with me, I think, when I was in high school with him. And he had a lot of questions. I answered him as best as I can to make sure he understood and could fit as much as possible as soon as he got here.
What does he ask most about? What's he most interested in?
It varies from all aspects, dorm life, campus, food, practices, school. I just try to make sure I can answer so he has no questions when he gets here. Make sure he's comfortable.
Right. Thanks, man.
No problem.